In some countries overseas, though, kids have been back in class for months now. We look to Denmark in particular this morning. It's been hailed as a leader in reopening schools. There have been new cases and minor outbreaks. But we get the story on what's happening in Copenhagen today with Renee Filipponi. She visited a school there to figure out how they have handled the cases and what Canada could learn.
It's lunch at an elementary school just outside central Copenhagen, and this really looks like sort of a pre-COVID school day, and that's the point. Schools in Denmark are on the second phase of their reopening plan, and there are limited restrictions now. Class sizes are back to normal, but hand hygiene remains paramount. The headmaster says it's really a challenge.
We've seen that many of our pupils are not aware enough, and they don't use the sanitizer, so we have to have one standing in the entrance reminding them. And that's what we will do for a period, and then I think they will be aware of it again.
Now, Denmark was one of the first countries to reopen schools right across Europe. It was a gradual process that started back in April when the COVID rate was on a steady decline. And unlike many other countries, schools were a priority for reopening and were in phase one before shops and restaurants. Now, at the time, rules were much stricter with staggered class schedules, many classes being taught outside, and the kids had to wash their hands every 90 minutes. Now, the teachers' union says that the reopening worked because of good cooperation with the government, who listened to and addressed their concerns, including letting staff with underlying conditions continue to work from home.
We have seen that cooperation on all levels have made people feel safe.
Dorte Lange says the teachers' confidence in going back helped quell the nerves parents had, who were concerned in the beginning that their children were being used as guinea pigs.
We're in this crisis together. We want to make the best of this. We want education to be as good as possible in these circumstances. And what can we do to make everyone feel safe in that?
Now, there has been an increase in COVID cases in recent weeks across Denmark, with some of the highest numbers they've seen since April. Since the reopening, there have been outbreaks in schools that have led to classes under quarantine, and some schools have shut down, but the problem hasn't been widespread. Authorities around the world, including Canada, have turned to Denmark for advice. And officials here have been happy to share lessons learned, but they also highlight that comparing situations in different countries is difficult because Denmark has a relatively small and spread out population compared to Canada. Renee Filipponi, CBC News, Copenhagen.